Welcome to Isla Nublar, located 120 miles west of Costa Rica. It has a surface of 77 square kilometers and is characterized by velvet green cliffs, valleys, cascading waterfalls, rivers, and a dense tropical forest. The northern part of Nublar is very mountainous and also volcanic, with the massive Mount Sibo being dormant for hundreds of years. This is how the park is powered, exploiting geothermal energy with a geothermal power plant located in the northern regions of the island. In 1985, John Hammond, with his company InGen, looked for a large isolated preserve. Costa Rica agreed to lease Isla Nublar to them, and in 1988, construction began and Jurassic Park, finally in 1993, was opened to the public. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Your adventure is about to begin. Hop into the Jeep and make yourself comfortable. This is the start of your adventure, hence why we are heading to the first dinosaur paddock, gloriously named the Watering Hole. Believe me, you are not ready for what you are about to see. The species you just saw were the iconic Brachiosaurus, alongside the well-known Procerathosaurus. We are now headed to the Visitor Center, the nerve center of Jurassic Park, where every minute detail of the park is monitored and managed. Some services to visitors are also provided here. Welcome. This will be your reference point for everything you need to navigate about the facilities. You can retrieve your visitor's pass from this office and a park brochure for good measure. In this other area of the building, the fine dining experience Les Legantes is where you can enjoy some of the best cuisine in South America during the day. Absolutely no expense has been spared. Near the restaurant, you can also find a gift shop to ensure you have an extra souvenir of this great vacation. Now, before lunch, we can move to the underground level of the visitor center. Make yourself comfortable. We are about to watch a video in which Mr. DNA himself will show you the secret used to recreate living, breathing dinosaurs. And now looking to the laboratory where some dinosaurs are incubated and bred, and following the main control room where everything is coordinated for the park to function. Last thing I would like to mention before starting the tour is that in case of an emergency, there is a security shelter located just behind the visitor center, which is accessible from its underground level. But believe me, there will be absolutely no problems here. We work hard for your safety. I'll see you later. Hope you had a good lunch in our restaurant. So, your main adventure is about to begin. I would not be there with you, but my voice will guide you through the tour to give you all the necessary information on the species you will encounter. But first, a quick message from the CEO of Engine himself, John Hammond.
Welcome one and all to Jurassic Park, a unique world of adventure unlike anything you've ever experienced before. I should explain. I'm John Hammond, the owner and creator of this magnificent enterprise. By this time, I'm sure you're quite aware that Jurassic Park refers to that time in history, the Jurassic period, when dinosaurs roamed the world. Here at Jurassic Park, we've created the world's largest man-made living laboratory devoted solely to the study of dinosaurs. At the park laboratories, scientists and geneticists are at work on the process of cloning the selected dinosaurs that will live in our park. A miraculous feat of bioengineering. At central control, our nerve center for the entire site, every creature is monitored on a continual basis. Nothing is left to chance. And in the field, our park rangers are constantly watching the area, communicating directly with central control at all times, and patrolling the site to ensure guest comfort and safety. So now prepare yourselves for the adventure of a lifetime as you journey into the world of the dinosaurs on our Jurassic Park adventure. I guarantee you, nothing has prepared you for the adventure ahead. So, from all of us, to all of you, well, thanks for coming, and have a wonderful day at Jurassic Park!
Alright, the main attraction, aptly named the Park Drive, is divided into two different tours. Today, you will start with Tour A. In this section, you will meet the following dinosaur species. If you look to your right, you can spot the first herd of dinosaurs on our tour, called Dilophosaurus. These animals tend to hide in the dense jungle of their paddock. Hope you're lucky enough to see one of them. One of the earliest carnivores, we now know Dilophosaurus is actually poisonous, spitting venom at its prey, causing blindness and eventual paralysis. This makes Dilophosaurus a beautiful but deadly addition to Jurassic Park. Moving through this tunnel, you will soon reach the main attraction of Jurassic Park, the tyrant lizard king, Tyrannosaurus Rex. She rarely shows up if not attracted by food, so we'll have to bait her out. Keep watching the fence, however. And there she is in all her majesty. Hopefully she'll give you all a welcoming roar. The vehicles will be making a stop here for a few minutes, so you can take some photos, get out of the car, use the bathroom, and stretch your legs out if you need to. Alright everyone, back into the vehicles. The tour is about to resume. This next paddock will show you the first herbivore dinosaur on this tour. The very well known and iconic Triceratops. It is a genus of ceratopsid dinosaur that first appeared during the late Cretaceous period in what is now North America. The name Triceratops literally means three-horned face. It lived alongside Tyrannosaurus and was preyed upon by them. However, Triceratops was not an easy meal for T.Rex to acquire. Proceeding with the tour, you'll encounter another carnivore, this time from the late Jurassic period in what is now England. Metriacanthosaurus means moderately spined lizard, because of its vertebrae that are a bit taller than typical carnosaurs, such as the well-known Allosaurus. On this next stop of the tour, you'll encounter a truly peculiar theropod. This is the Baryonyx. It is a prevalently piscivorous dinosaur from the early Cretaceous and lived in Europe. It is a well-known member of the Spinosauridae family. Baryonyx, like its brethren, had semi-aquatic habits, living in water basins and swamps. The animal hunted its prey crouched on the banks of these, but it was also an occasional scavenger and hunter on land. Its name means heavy claw and alludes to the animal's very large claw on its first finger. The vehicles will once again be making a stop here for a few minutes. The last paddock you'll visit today is inhabited by yet another large herbivore, and also the only flying species in Jurassic Park. The Stegosaurus is another dinosaur among the best and the largest of its group. It lived during the late Jurassic period. Its fossils were found in North America and Europe. The plates on its back seem intimidating, but they are extremely fragile. What truly looks intimidating are the 4 spikes that can be found on its tail. These are called thagomizers and are used as a defensive weapon against predators of their time. The massive building you see at the center of this paddock is the Jurassic Park Aviary, suitable for lodging some specimens of Pteranodon, one of the largest flying reptiles that ever lived. Their diet is based on fish, which they can hunt from the river portion inside the aviary. You are now heading back through the main gate, and then you will arrive to the tour garage next to the visitor center. I'm sure you've just had the best experience of your life, and it's definitely not over yet. But we will have other great adventures in the coming days. You are free to spend the rest of the day as you prefer. If you want, you can relax in your room at the Safari Lodge or Iguanodon Inn Hotel Complex. Or you can also enjoy the tennis court or the swimming pool. I bid you farewell until tomorrow. I hope you had a relaxing night here at Jurassic Park. Now, get ready for a new Jurassic adventure. After breakfast at Les Gigantes, head over to the tour garage once again and wait for your Ford Explorer to arrive. As always, my voice will be guiding you through your trip. Okay everyone, Tour B will be beginning shortly. In this section of the tour, you'll be meeting the following dinosaur species. The first creature you can spot today is a genus of small carnivorous theropod called Segisaurus, which means Segi Canyon lizard. This dinosaur lived during the early Jurassic period in Arizona, where the landscape was very arid and sandy. This little dinosaur seemed to have features that would have made it well adapted for squatting down and sitting out a sandstorm. Its enclosure has been structured to resemble the place where its fossils are found. You are now entering one of the largest enclosures in Jurassic Park, suited to lodging a great flock of Gallimimus composed of 24 specimens. This Asian ornithomimid of the late Cretaceous was prevalently a herbivore, but it also fed on insects, very small animals, and even eggs. It was also one of the fastest dinosaurs and could run up to 30 miles per hour. Here at Jurassic Park, you can easily see them running in flocks for the first time ever. Now prepare yourselves, as you are about to meet one of the most dangerous dinosaurs that InGen has ever brought back to life. Don't be fooled by the small size, but don't worry about your safety. We have taken plenty of precautions. The Velociraptors are without any doubt the smartest species in the park, making them one of the most deadly and dangerous living animals. The history of these specimens, 3 in total, will give you confirmation of this. InGen bred 8 of them initially, but when they were placed into the enclosure, they began testing the fences for weak spots. Subsequently, the pack leader, which we named the Big One, killed all but 2 of them. They were moved away into a temporary holding pen near the maintenance shed until the workers were 100% sure that the enclosure is secured. That's why you currently see a double fence for these dinosaurs. An interesting and chilling behavior of velociraptors is that when they socialize with each other, it really looks like they're up to something. This next stop will show you the only species belonging to the oldest dinosaur period, known as the Triassic. Herrerasaurus, meaning Herrera's lizard, is a relatively small-sized carnivore which lived in South America. The dinosaur family which Herrerasaurus belongs to was among the earliest in the evolutionary track to obtain a bipedal posture with long and powerful back limbs, lean and strong build, and forelimbs equipped with sharp claws, that were used to grab prey, which were then further wounded by its long teeth. Herrerasaurus was created by InGen as a safer alternative to the Velociraptors, in case they were no longer able to keep them in a secure enclosure after a few previous incidents. The vehicles will be stopping here for a few minutes before continuing the tour. The last dinosaur on this park drive is the Procerathosaurus, an even smaller carnivore from the Middle Jurassic period, which lived in Europe. It was a primitive theropod that looked somewhat similar to the later Ceratosaurus, for which it is named after, but only due to it having a horn-like crest. However, they were not related to each other, since the Procerathosaurus was a member of the Tyrannosaurid family, being one of the very first. Overall, this dinosaur was much more docile compared to the later Tyrannosaurid members. This particular tour track is connected to a road which leads to the east dock of Isla Nublar, first passing through a nature-made tunnel. It is the shipping port for Jurassic Park, and it was built between 1989 and 1993 during the construction era of the park. Just above the dock area, the construction of an airstrip is nearly complete, and it will serve as a secondary method for guests to arrive. When returning from the park drive, you will pass once again beside the Segisaurus paddock before ending the tour. By the time you get to the visitor center, it will be almost lunchtime. Then you'll have a special trip in the afternoon. I'll see you later. Here we are. Jurassic Park includes not only tours by land, but also a river boat ride throughout the tropical rivers of Isla Nublar. This attraction is called the Jungle River Cruise. It runs through a couple of enclosures. While waiting for your boat to be ready, you can see here a preview of the dinosaurs you will encounter. The first zone you will reach is the Brachiosaurus&Parasaurolophus enclosure, where you will be able to explore up close and personal the watering hole. Then, after turning back, the river ride will head into the Stegosaurus paddock to admire again these large herbivores roaming near the river. Here you can also get a closer view of the massive aviary before turning back to reach the starting point. Today was full of adventures, my friends, and it is almost over. I'll meet you one last time tomorrow before you leave Isla Nublar, but your enjoyment here at Jurassic Park is not over yet. I guarantee it. We have reached the last day of your stay here at Isla Nublar. Your departure is scheduled for after lunch, but first, you'll have a new kind of adventure. Jurassic Park has provided a roller coaster for visitors who love fast rides. We called it the Bone Shaker. It was built upon a rocky wall of a mountain, at the foot of which there is a deep pit. Have fun. The Bone Shaker ride was built during the first phase of the park. Speaking of Jurassic Park's phases, there were 3 of them: the pre-phase 1, phase 1, and phase 2, which is the park's current phase. During phase 1, the Aviary was built, but that's not all. There is an attraction that is not yet open to the public due to some previous little incidents, but we are planning on opening it as soon as possible. This is the marine facility, where guests will be able to see a prehistoric aquatic creature known as the Dilophosaurus. Here at Jurassic Park, we always make sure to amaze everyone. The marine facility is located not that far from the North Dock of Nublar, which is used by visitors as an additional route of arrival and departure from the island. That was a preview that should hopefully invite you to visit Jurassic Park once again. In addition to the marine facility, we may also bring new species from Isla Sorna to put them on the standard tours. About this, there is already a new species on this island, but it was kept in a quarantined holding pen in the northern region of Nublar, known as the Troodon. There were a couple of reasons for this precaution. This animal would be hard for visitors to spot, since it tends to hide in the dark jungle, being bothered by sunlight. Its eyes, in fact, are suited for a prevalently nocturnal life. But most importantly, it has proven to have a great intelligence, on par with velociraptors, and also a poisonous bite which causes hallucinations and eventual paralysis. So, this dinosaur needed particular attention and further studies. Ultimately, Mr. Hammond decided to discard the idea of having them as an attraction for Jurassic Park. Okay everyone, enjoy a last visit to the visitor center during your lunch at Las Gigantes. A jeep will be waiting outside for you to take you to the heliport. I'm sure you've had quite some great and unforgettable days here at Jurassic Park. We hope you will return to Isla Nublar soon.